There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you. It's rare to see you down like this. But it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you? Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about letting Ota get the upper hand on you. Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks?
What do they think?
Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide. Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife, killed her, then killed himself.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other two murders? Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko.
Oh no, wait.
Those three murders were definitely executed by the same person.
Oda doesn't have his eye missing.
The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as?
I can't even look over there. It's PC in the corner. Well, obviously, yeah. Oda's behavior in the video.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was gonna commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice cutting machine himself? I don't buy it.
Also had no incentive to kill Renju.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it. Making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
Wrong.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
Had no incentive to kill Shoko.
Shoko was married to Renju. Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
But they were already divorced at that time, so like... wrong.
That's a stretch. They've been divorced for years. Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
And then what about the dude in the polar bear costume? Why the polar bear costume?
The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
There are some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
I am.
Told the boss what Aiba found.
Oh, I know that.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but When it didn't work, he went for the ice cutting machine.
In the side is kind of fatal. It depends on where. If it was like towards the lower part of his, torso, it probably wouldn't have been.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
But if it punctured the lung, maybe.
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come on. Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
There also would have been blood, right outside the damn thing.
Well, I wasn't being serious. I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene. That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice cutting machine. And then...
Then, who is the culprit?
I don't fucking know.
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims. But Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
Exactly.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris. What connects these 3?
Connections.
Can't be Lemnis.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe, maybe not. But it's a good starting point.
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemnis Gate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her. And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
MoMA.
Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris. Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras, but again, I can't see any clear link to Iris.
I'm gonna wait to do that one. It's kind of pointless to accuse Tomi's or Iris's mother. But we'll see.
Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked. They were high school classmates. And she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way.
God, don't be a super bad option if I say me. Don't be a super bad option if I say me.
No matter what the circumstances were, it seems impossible to me.
God damn it.
I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No, now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is zero possibility you are the new Cyclops killer. I have been working with you for years.
Good.
I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renji were her parents, and she was close friends with Iris. She was good friends with Ota too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them. Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous. I thought it over, boss. Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit. To get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
Wait. What? Go to my house? My place? What does my place look like? Is it respectable? Is it trash? Is it... It is... Oh. It's not that bad. It's actually not bad at all. Huh. Mizuki is curled up on the sofa. She looks like a small animal frightened by a predator. What? There's her steel pipe. Of course, a mix of our clothes. Large speakers. Audio equipment for not a file. It's Auto Rabbit, a stuffed rabbit. Give it a Mizuki on a birthday. Mizuki's bed. Of course, backpack, iron pipe. Mizuki's favorite metal pipe. What?
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet.
I feel so bad.
Not just in Japan, but worldwide.
Worldwide? I mean, I know shit spreads fast on the internet, but fuck.
3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends.
Yikes.
It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Are
Sure.
you okay?
Yeah.
Certainly didn't seem so. I can't stay by your side
Iba,
forever.
contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
Stayed with her for a little while, but we didn't speak. Having nothing more to say, I left. Sir. Back to the scene of the crime. Maybe get a little bit more information from this. Stepped into the cold storage warehouse. Air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. Temperature hadn't raised much at all. Cold air sunk into my skin, but the center of my body was burning hot. See clues. Anything?
No, nothing so far.
Well, gotta do it myself, I guess. It's Ota's blood. Iris and Ota's blood. Iris and Ota were sliced in two by this ice cutting machine. Iris and Ota.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
So there's not a lot of stuff you can do to fake
Which means
it.
Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream. All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse.
This warehouse has Wi-Fi? What?
Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it. I
Okay.
have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras, the same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju.
Would it strictly be Shoko's?
The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died.
Oh.
Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
Who in the hell could have inherited this?
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered. This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional.
Okay.
It has not been moved in some time.
Oh, yeah, it's even covered in a layer of ice at the bottom. Focus hanging from the ceiling crane.
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
There's nothing in it. Oil drum. Unlikely to be a clue. Any progress?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Oh,
Right
workbench.
here. Iris and Ota were...
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Not really, but enlighten me. When did
just
he die?
before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And the cause of death.
Right, about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound, or...
I cannot determine that.
Yeah, it's hard to determine that, considering...
I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Maybe Oda was trying to help Iris, jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle, and Oda ended up with a knife wound in his side. Lost all his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside the costume and then finally cut open by the ice cutting machine.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown. Date, we should get moving.
Would it be a good idea to, like, I don't know, test the polar bear suit for any other DNA? I don't know. I don't know if they
Officers
would add
from the
any.
local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
Yep. Heading out. Let me know if you find anything. Let them know, and then left the warehouse. Are you gonna give me the map? No. Oh. I left the warehouse. I saw a pewter. What is he doing here? Walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
What is it?
Huh?
What's up?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Mm-hmm.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her.
Why not?
So, I decided to meet you here.
All right. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Mm-hmm.
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer.
Who is it?
Although, it's more accurate to say, killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
What?
They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
Who is the murderous psychopath, then?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Don't remember what oxytocin is.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust.
Okay, thank you, Iva.
It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means.
And that happened to be Murder.
Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
What was it?
I think it's obvious.
Murder.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Why did the Cyclops case get classified?
That... I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you. 18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out. The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes.
That's weird.
Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them. He needed to have them, to make them his own. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
I mean, one killer? One...
And one of them was the former chairman
Yeah.
of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains. Who is he?
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
To Fuchu prison we go.
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called Number 89.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Because he's in prison.
Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
So... what does that mean? Like, now? The place was silent. So quiet so quiet I felt like I could hear the floating dust. I stepped inside. Thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It's like watching a decaying old tree cling pathetically to the earth. Oh shit. Sorry to interrupt. Nothing? Nothing! God damn it, we're doing it like this, aren't we?
This is your fault.
Asad's fault?
I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris.
Oh, it's my fault. It's my fault that your son tased me.
My boy Ota got involved.
It's my fault that Ota tased me. Sure.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now.
Wait, I'm sorry, how did that sound?
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now.
Fair.
Did you not hear me?
I'm going.
I said leave!
Where did Ota even get a goddamn taser?
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that's 2 fronts. Can we make it 3 fronts that are dead ends? When I visited the Sagan household, I found a Tomi with a hollow look in her eyes. She let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. I agreed and sat down. But after that, I couldn't say a single word. The heavy silence weighed on both of us. If it's gonna be silence the entire time.
Iris was my everything.
Oh. Finally.
We always went everywhere together. Whether it was buying clothes, or going to the movies, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine. Then it was 2, then 3. And finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up. Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her.
Holy shit.
But why?
Dude, the fucking voice acting. What the hell?
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but
No, please, tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
Prison?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were younger. I visit them a few times a year.
Fuchu person?
By coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was, to visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison in Tokyo.
I swear to God, if they're connected to that dude, somehow, someway.
Fuchu.
Prison?
Ota was one of my students. I taught him in elementary school. I heard it from the police. Ota tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
God damn.
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her. Dante, please, you have to catch them. Please. Please.
I will. Trust me.
God damn. It is.
Are you okay, honey?
It's hard to hear voice acting as good as it was prior to that scene. It is hard. It just sells the atmosphere that fucking much better. Or that much more. It's like, holy shit.
Huh?
About last night. Well, at 3 in the morning anyway.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
Tell me.
What do you have?
The Kumakuras are involved in this case.
Are you absolutely sure?
Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakuras?
Yeah. I remember you telling me. But is that entirely true?
Shoko also has a relationship with them.
Or is that true now? Consider the situation.
You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
So basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakuras. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2, 3.
Girl, you better not be putting... Mizuki up there.
3?
Better not be connecting Mizuki to those... people.
Iris?
No, not that one. The boy.
Ota?
He came here last night.
Ota?
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
How?
Have you heard the rumor?
Mama told me a similar story to Aiba's about Seijima in the Kawasaki district. Basic idea is this. 8 years ago, So sold his land in the Kawasaki district for 30 billion yen. Half a year later, an explosion at the chemical plant caused the land prices to drop drastically. So bought back the land for 1 billion yen. Almost like he knew beforehand that the accident would happen. Did So blow it up, or conspire to blow it up? No, that wouldn't make sense. So wouldn't get anything from that. He would end up with 29 billion in cash and 1 billion in land. It's a net zero. There's more to the story. Welcome!
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies.
Welcome to the Velvet Bar.
They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you. The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in Kawasaki.
What? What? No! Hey! Nightbot, what the fuck? I guess?
Now, back to So.
I guess Nightbot didn't want spam. Shit. Hold on, it's probably on here. What did you say? Why does she sound like a dude? Because reasons. Because reasons. I'm not allowed to explain.
Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kawasaki? So was the one who came up with it.
I wonder if I can no. Is that not a thing that I have?
I was born and raised in Kawasaki.
There we go. Thank you, Nightbot.
I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kawasaki now.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Have you heard about the plans for the casino in Kawasaki? So was the one who came up with it. I was born and raised in Kawasaki. I remember the landscape of my childhood and loved it dearly, but look at Kawasaki now.
I see images of the destruction on television. My heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces.
Oh, wait! The RE Death Command reset? Weird. Anyways, this is like a murder investigation thing. Actually isn't that far different from what is it? Zero Escape?
But I promise you, I will revive the Kawasaki district at any cost.
Yeah, but we're not trying to prove we're not trying to prove anybody guilty or innocent this time. We're trying to figure out what.
Casino Town Kawasaki will give new life to the city.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
Can I wonder, can I VIP people? I actually don't know. How do I do that?
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kawasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off-limits. However, the air in Kabasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human body.
Okay. So, slash VIP. I cannot VIP you because I do not have the power to do so, but I will do that.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kabasaki are going to skyrocket. And all that land is owned by the KE. And by So himself. The land he bought back for 1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
He's involved in some shady business.
About So in the Kabasaki
This
district.
is just another rumor, but...
Yeah, you're now modded, by the way, because I don't have the ability to VIP anybody at this stage of the channel.
The chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
Which is fine, but yeah.
By So and the Kumakuras, you mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip.
What about Ota and the Kumakuras?
What were we talking about again?
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kabasaki district?
Yeah. It's like just outside of it.
The chemical plant explosion made times hard. Foot traffic went down, sales declined. No wonder it closed down.
Wait. The Matsushita Diner is closed down?
Ota must hold a grudge.
I thought it was fine.
Someone caused that explosion. And if it was intentional, oh, he'd hate them even more. That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
Yakuza A, Yakuza B. Rohan. Whoa, wait, what did it say about Mama? Also a information broker. Cool. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't think for coming on the world.
Thank you, Mama. I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time.
It's been useful so far.
No, it was very helpful.
I'm glad I can help, even if it's just a little.
Got some information from her 2 hours in game time? Well, not really in game time, playtime.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
Why aren't we going to Fuchu prison yet? God damn it. There is a prisoner at Fuchu prison that we need to go say hi to. I would love to go say hi.